Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, and happy Indigenous Day, is it? Indigenous, whatever you say, to the Native Americans, the real founders of this country, right? The times have changed. Pretty incredible, right? Well, I grew up, it was Columbus Day, but that's not the appropriate word anymore, as we all know, in our changing world of this United States of America. Or is it the divided States of America, right? So, hey, heading back home. Got the trailer all packed up. Kid abandoned me. Yeah, the kid actually is going to hang out with Mom and Grandma. Get on back. No, get on back. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's abandoned me for the food. Yeah, she's going to hang out with them and have a nice breakfast. For me, I'm just going to keep on moving this morning. Yeah. All right, departing the mother-in-law's house. Got it all cleaned up for her, and she's much happier now. We got the place cleaned up. You know, she's a widow. Sadly, my father-in-law, a very successful individual, and just sad story. You know, you hear these stories all the time. He was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and you know, we think that the Agent Orange got him because just incredible. The guy was in incredible shape. The guy, like, I'm not lying, he looked younger than me. At 71 years old. Yeah, he died in 2017, December 29th. It's a very sad time. And for my in-laws, they used to live up near where I live. And he was a big computer guy, very smart man. And, you know, typical story, came from the Kansas, you know, upbringings of brought up on a farm, just hard work. His hands were extremely strong. When he shakes somebody's hand, you know the person's an actual, you know, like labor person versus somebody's hand that doesn't really, you know, grab you. You kind of know. So, you know, his upbringings were, you know, just a typical situation where he grew up in a family that wasn't that well off, meaning, you know, they had to struggle to to survive off of farming, just like my mother. Same thing. My mother, her father, 5 tries, and every time he had a kid, it was a girl. Can you even imagine? And he ran 100-acre, 200-acre farm, cotton and, you know, cows and corn. And this is down in Tennessee. But my father-in-law, for him, he was born in that era where he was drafted into the military, the Army, and he was, he qualified to fly a helicopter, and he went to college and he got a degree and all, and so, but here's the whole point. You know, for my father-in-law, you know, we lost him, which is so sad because he worked up there in that area I live up there in that Northern Virginia area, and just worked. That guy just worked all the time. In fact, his challenge was, which I talk about a lot in my videos, is people that work all the time, what do once they stop working? What do you do? If your whole life is revolved around you working, do you understand how to actually get away from working and do something else and enjoy yourself? Yeah, that's a huge problem. I see it all the time. I see people retire only to go back to work again. And, you know, because the reality is we all get burned out of our everyday routines. But then when you just retire and you have nothing kind of going on, I'm not saying everybody has this scenario, but, you know, the point is, once you retire, if you don't have an agenda, because you've been living your life of an agenda. I mean, think about it. When you're a kid, you know, you were put into a school system where you had to be at school and you had an agenda. Then once you kind of graduated from school, you maybe went to college. You didn't go to college, you went to work, and you had a schedule and an agenda. And then, you know, you do that. You know, when I got out of high school, I just went to work and I never stopped working. And so if you factor how many years, you know, you can be talking 50, 60 years. So somebody just has like a routine, and now you get out and you retire, and what happens? But the whole point of that conversation really is, that isn't the theme. The theme this morning, I was thinking to myself last night, was woman. I was thinking to myself, woman. I think, wow. And let me finish up my father-in-law. So sadly, my father-in-law retired down here. And then for me, it was just like a dream come true because he retired on a golf course community, and I grew up golfing. And so now all of a sudden I had this incredible opportunity to go down here to Tennessee, not only go golfing, but ride my motorcycles. And he bought this big house that you see that I was even stumped. He's not a car guy per se. He's a car guy, NASCAR guy, but he wasn't, the guy like me. He wouldn't buy a new car. He'd keep the same car forever. Yeah. He only had a few cars. He wouldn't waste his money that way. So, anyways, I'm just sharing with you, just a sad story there for my mother-in-law that we lost him 5 years ago, and it's been very challenging for my mother-in-law for that loss. But anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of summing up. I'm leaving Tennessee, heading back, and we spent a lot of time down here, and we're going to spend even more time. I'm going to make that downstairs an area to be more of a livable area, which I think is pretty cool. And the mother-in-law is kind of coming around to that idea too. Yeah, just how does that all play out? But here's the thing. I got to think last night, women in our society, they're the most powerful human being on planet Earth. I mean, I've read years ago about the woman's, makeup, the way the woman is designed. She really can, for the most part, outlive a man. I mean, even if anybody ever watched that series Naked and Afraid, which I don't really watch it that much. I watched it a little bit, but I just kind of got boring. But the Naked and Afraid, a lot of times the women would last the big strong man. You see these big strong guys, and you think that this big strong guy's going to win out the contest. No, the way the woman's body is engineered, because it's engineered to carry a baby, their genetics is much more efficient and has better reserves for not eating, eating. And there's a lot, it's more than I have in-depth conversation. But what I'm trying to convey through my message this morning is how women today are kind of being pushed aside. And somebody may say to me like, whoa, what are you talking about? What do you mean women are making more accomplishments than ever than, before, because you have the GM's CEO is a woman. You can start going through the list of major companies and corporations that are women. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. And there they go. See, right there they go. So they're going to go have breakfast. Yeah, the kids going to go hang out with them. That's just great. So what I'm trying to convey is today's society, like today's, is Indigenous Day. I guess you pronounce it that way. Indigenous Day. And they've changed it from being Columbus Day because people feel that the Native Americans, the Indians were, there's no doubt the Indians were, ravaged. they were destroyed at the hands of the white man, the new colonial, the new man that came to the new world here, America, and took away all of the Indians, land and freedoms. Yeah, it's huge. And yeah, talk about sacrifice. Yeah, wow. So, but the real point is, what I'm trying to convey through my message this morning, woman, is that more than ever, we're having a society that's starting to evolve to this, anybody gets to be anybody they want to be. And I think to myself, that's kind of to me, in my views, kind of a disservice to the woman. And what I mean by that is we saw more than ever here recently that men want to become women, and then they compete in a women's sports, and they get their trophy because, their physical, strength is typically stronger than women. That's just men's makeup physically, as we know, usually is better than woman in strength. Not as far as what I just talked about in the longevity of, fighting for survival. So I think to myself, more than ever in society, they want to say you're an it. And I think, wow, this is crazy. And how more than ever for the women, I think women, my YouTube channel is such a motorcycle, truck channel, I'm sure there's women out there watching my channel, but I would bet that majority of the subscribers are men. And don't take it the wrong way, women, because I love women, and I have 3 women right now that, what's my life around majority of the time? It's my daughter and my wife. So it's woman. I don't have a son. So, my life revolves around the woman. And I just spent the weekend with 3 women. Yeah, that goes great, and that goes sour for any man that's out there and married that has 3, 4, 5 daughters. Yeah. You get that conversation, right? The power of woman. Yeah. Can a man bleed like a woman can? And don't take that the wrong way, being, derogatory or nasty. But yeah, good old saying is a man to be dead one day the way a woman, can bleed. So you go back to so to me, it's like, what a total disservice to the woman of our society. Because if you look at Mary and Joseph, okay, hello, Jesus, okay, who was the mother to Jesus? Mary. I mean, Mary is one of the most powerful persons in the world if you kind of step back and you believe in Jesus. Now, if you're not a biblical person and you're an atheist or whatever, I'm not here to convert anybody to, whatever religion. That's not the message. The message is, Mary, who is Mary? Right, well, Mary, Jesus and Mary, right? Okay. Jesus is a powerful individual in this physical world that he lived, and for those of us that believe in him, hope we have another world, if you understand all that. So, and I think to myself, I say this all the time to people, is behind every strong man or behind every great man is a stronger or greater woman. And I so believe that. It's so true. Behind every great man's a greater woman. But at the same time, and women don't like to hear this, and I don't blame them, behind every weak man is a weaker woman. Because to me, women get to choose their man. In our culture here, I'm not talking about other cultures, because yes, I understand that's a whole different variable. I'm talking about the country I'm in and the way I was brought up. Women, there's a ton of men that'll always go for a woman. A woman can choose the man she wants. And so for me, any woman that puts up with a lousy guy, then she's just a lousier person, because she doesn't have to do that. Women are very powerful, and what's the number one, the biggest thing of unfortunately, porn. It's women. Yeah. What's the biggest? You don't hear of many prostitutes of men hanging out in street corners. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but your perception is, if there's a prostitute, you instantly think of a woman. If you think of a naked magazine or video or whatever, most people's instant thought is, it's a naked woman. Yeah, and I say all the time, Jesus Christ, went for the men, they're just crazy in this world, we wouldn't even be here. Yeah, because men, they're the physical side of everything, that we all kind of tend to do stupid things, and the woman just kind of, for whatever reason, goes along with it. Yeah, can you even imagine a woman bearing a child hundreds of years ago, in the dead of winter, in a tent? Yeah, but that woman, think about that woman. Yeah, and sadly, some women that have pregnancies die. Yes, that's a fact too. And the reason I'm talking about this morning is because in today's culture and society, I feel like, unbeknownst to most people, I think, they're not listening to the message, and they're taking away the power of the woman. Yeah, I know it sounds far-fetched, but if you step back and think about, for a man to want to be a woman to have a baby, all right, or for a man to have a baby, right? I mean, it just, it gets kind of gets like weird, right? Yeah, it gets really weird. So first of all, a woman has the capability to carry another human being and helps, populate the world. Of course, men have to, participate, but it's the woman. So in our society today, you're now having people that want to kind of be borderline both, and then you hear about the sports, in the sports industry, and the youth, people that play sports, how there's boys wanting to convert to be a girl so they can take advantage of a woman. Yeah, think this through. The society's allowing men to convert to be, in my eyes, is so they can actually try to take away the power of the woman. I mean, it's really bad. And you've heard about these swimmers, these women swimmers that are having to compete against a guy, basically, and they're losing. I mean, think about what's the underlying, what is society trying to accomplish out of this? I mean, sincerely. And then, you go into the workplace where women, still, it's a known fact, men still make more money average than a woman does. But, and that's, and for me as an individual, that's been a huge challenge in my upbringing, especially when I was brought up. It was, it was more men dominant, even to the point that for men, sleeping with the secretary or sleeping with the ladies at the office back in the day, he was looked at like, the jock football quarterback star, that he was Mr. Special, he's the big guy in the office. Well, we now know more than ever that, that's a huge no-no. I'm not saying it still doesn't go on, but, the message I'm just trying to convey to everybody this morning is, in our society, I think we're in a very dangerous change that is trying to underwrite the power of women. And once again, and I know the gays and all this other stuff, and I'm not a person that's here to promote a political channel, nor when it gets into the gay and all of that. That's not what I'm trying to create an argument with or debate with. It's more of me just saying, it's interesting if you look around that more than ever in our society, women are being challenged. They're being challenged. And I think women should start speaking up and say, this just isn't right. It's not right that men want to convert into be a woman, that gives them possibly more power over them. I mean, look at Bruce Jenner, who's now Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, to me, that's kind of confusing. And you just step back and think to yourself, what's the underlying message here? And part of you should really say, yeah, that just reinforces that women are better and stronger, because then why are men wanting to convert to women? I mean, think that through. But at the same time, is it taking away from a woman that was naturally brought in this world as a woman, that somebody else wants to create themselves into a woman? Is that taking her identity away? So anyways, just, what I like to do on my YouTube channel, and I know it kind of gets off the car conversations, but I just like to share ideas. And I just like to hear other people, because we're in such a media-driven machine more than ever in our lifetime, where the media is training people how to think. And in my saying always has been, think outside of the box. Try to think outside of the box. Try to, not get caught up in this, where you don't think outside of what's going on. And once again, just for some reason yesterday, I was just looking at my mother-in-law, my wife, and my daughter, and I was just thinking, the power that these women have is incredible, because as a married man, if your wife isn't happy, your marriage is not happy. Happy wife, happy life, right? So the universe, for the most part, I should say more in our country, for the most part, it revolves around the woman being happy, but for men, that's a challenge, and for women too. So it isn't like, there's a lot of variables to a lot of scenarios. So anyways, just shared some ideas on my Monday morning conversation, and I read about how the hybrid changing the subject now, and yeah, some people may take that conversation a little loopy or a little out of the realm, but yeah, I'm just throwing ideas out there. But back to the car information, the Toyota is outselling everybody right now in the hybrid gas electric combination, and in the auto market, the auto industry says the consumers really actually prefer the gas electric combination vehicle more than just an electric vehicle. And believe it or not, the hybrid vehicles sell twice as fast than electric vehicles do. So for people that go shopping for cars, these statistics are showing the marketplace that when a hybrid car hits the lot, it doesn't last more than like 6-7 days, and an electric vehicle lasts like 12 or 14 days. But in the end, what the dealers are hearing, people would prefer the electric hybrid gas setup because it gives them more options. It gives them options to not have to go find an electric charge station to continue to get down the road. And auto manufacturers like Toyota, who I talked about last week, they are so on the page that they would rather make electric vehicle gas vehicles than just electric vehicles, because for them, they feel it's better. Toyota claims that their hybrid vehicles actually are 20% less pollutant to the environment than a Tesla electric vehicle. Now, what all that language means, I don't know. I didn't get that deep into it, but it was an interesting article I read in the Wall Street Journal like at 5 a.m. this morning, was about how the hybrid market is actually the preferred consumer's choice. And if one of these greenies are demanding no more ICE engines in vehicles, the trend would probably be stronger of the manufacturers catering to that. I think that idea is so much better. Can you even imagine that the future, everybody thought the future Hellcat with Mopar was going to be a gas hybrid, combination. The Corvette is going to have like a gas hybrid, I think, setup. I could be wrong on that, but the whole point is you can then get 1,000 horsepower out of a car, no problem, because you can have an 700-800 horsepower gas motor with a 200-300 horsepower electric motor, and then you have the compliance with emissions, and you got an incredibly powerful vehicle. Yeah, so, just really sad, as I said last week, it's the minority, and that's a good point, going back to the women. It's the minority in the world that are trying to change identity of man and woman to an it. Just going back to that, think of all the unisex bathrooms where a guy can put on a skirt and say he's a woman and go into the woman's bathroom and rape somebody. That happened in where I live. Yes, a young man went in, dressed up like a girl, and raped a girl, teenager. And then when the parent went to a teacher's parents meeting about all this critical race theory and 1619 teachings and unisex bathrooms, he was tarnished. People thought he was making the story up because the Loudoun County Public Schools in Virginia didn't disclose that this had happened. And it was recorded with the police that this young man went into a girl's bathroom, dressed up as a girl, and raped a young girl. That's because the school systems were allowing for guys to go. This is just beyond believable. I just had to add that for anybody who watch my channel. Yeah, once again, what's the underlying message to women? Is it that men want to take control of women looking like a woman? Come on. I think there's a lot more to this than people really have stepped back and thought about. Yes. I'm sincere in that. I think there's a lot more going on. There's an agenda. It's an agenda. Right? So anyways, back to the car conversations. So the automotive industry, is seeing, the dealers claim that the consumers prefer the hybrid vehicle. But the minority, the green agenda people, want you to have an electric vehicle. And I talk about this a lot lately about how the minority in our country, more than ever, is creating the change. And why are we letting this happen? I mean, why, right? I mean, but I understand why it's happening. It's all about the people with big money that have an agenda that you're trying to accomplish that's going to enrich X amount of people. Yeah, it's all about the money. Is the it thing about money? Is the it thing about a power grab to make women feel inferior? Think that through. Maybe there's people that just don't like women, and they agree with what I'm saying. That yes, women are incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. Yes, they're more powerful than a man. And some be like, yeah, well, I'm not talking about the strongman competition, if you get what I'm saying. All right, everybody, just wanted to share some of my information, my views, my ideas, thoughts, not wanting to, by any means, if somebody's gay that watches my channel, this isn't about me saying, oh, that isn't the message. That's not the message. If you're an it, for me as an individual, I'm not here to create a debate. I'm not here to be mean to anybody. I'm here to hear other people's, views and ideas. Meaning they would be like, oh no, you have that all wrong. Really, this is what's going on. You are stuck in your own box. Okay, all right. I'm more than happy to listen to hear other people's views. But to me, more than ever in today's society, I think that the women are being challenged. Yes. So, appreciate everybody. Nice comments. Been a great weekend riding motorcycles. Those Indians are such nice motorcycles. People are saying, don't sell those. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The danger of me is if I sell my Indians, you'll be watching a video a year from now where I'm buying Indians back. I already know that. Yeah, I know who I am. I get it. Right. I sold my CVO Harleys. What am I doing now? I got rid of my Harleys. What am I doing now? Yeah. Yeah, right. And then I was at Wrecking Crew yesterday, and they had a beautiful Road Glide CVO. And when I walked in the door, really nice, badass looking bike. And if they were willing to wheel and deal on that, would I consider that? It's possible, but they're not. I mean, I was kind of disappointed yesterday. Anybody that's on the Wrecking Crew team, I went there yesterday, and I just didn't have that same energy, fun factor with the Wrecking Crew. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of felt like, since I wasn't there to buy a motorcycle, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't know. My daughter even mentioned it last night. She said she was really disappointed that we went to the dealership, and it just seems like that, the excitement, relationship kind of just all disappeared. So anybody that's from the Wrecking Crew watching the YouTube channel, I'm just sharing with you that we came by yesterday to buy some highway pegs and if some riding gloves and a few other things, and we just really kind of felt like we kind of got, we're like, oh, okay, you're not here to buy a motorcycle, and I did. I was sincere. I told him, like, hey, but in all reality, Chesapeake, if anybody's watching my YouTube channel, for Eisenhower's Chesapeake, Harley Davidson up there and what's it, Darlington or whatever, Maryland, north of Bel Air, Maryland. They're, it seems like their environment, it really seems like their pricing and the way they want to try to get a deal done, it just seems, I don't know. Once again, I was really surprised. It's just been an eye-opener to me that I bought this CVO Harley and not really realizing that the dealers are marking their bikes up that much. Yeah, it's kind of been an eye-opener. So when anybody out there that's shopping around for a Harley motorcycle, just here's a little warning for you. The dealers are marking it up over the MSRP of the suggested retail price. But it's not like dealerships and car dealerships. This is where I got fooled, I feel like. And you know what? I have no problem any Harley dealer mentioning, hey, look, you're not presenting that correctly. You should really rephrase that. So what I'm saying is, when you go buy a motorcycle at Harley Davidson dealership, they have a nice pamphlet description of the motorcycle, and you open it up, and it shows the price of the motorcycle. Now, when you go to a car dealership, you have a MSRP window sticker of all the options, vehicle, and then when they mark it up 5 or 10 grand or whatever they do, they have a separate sticker that shows they have what they call ADM, additional dealer markup. So they're marking the product up for their own benefit to make more money off the car, and that's called ADM. Well, at the Harley dealerships, they don't do that. I could be wrong, and anybody watching my YouTube channel at Wrecking Crew, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is if you're going to mark the bike up, you got to put a sticker on the bike that shows regular price and then your ADM price. And maybe they do that. I didn't see that. So, just kind of disappointed because, I have relationships with a lot of Harley dealers, and, you just kind of think you're special. Yeah, how special are you, right? All right, I'm going to keep the video short, and, conversation is really about how, for me as an individual, I kind of go full circle on buying things. I buy something, keep it, I sell it, then down the road I buy it back. Yeah, so for me, if I sold my Indians, I'd make a lot of money out of them. I mean, it really would be a lot of money, and that's what part of me says, is like, sell those, just pay off all the Harleys, get all the debt wiped out, and move on, and then just buy the Indians again down the road. Another part of me says, I'm not disciplined enough for that. Remember I talked about the 12 steps of Think and Grow Rich? The number 10 is complete self-discipline. Yeah, I can't put a check mark against that. I can't put a check mark because that's my challenge. I buy cars and trucks, motorcycles all the time. That's my challenge. I know that. All right, everybody. Appreciate the subscribers. Share the video with anybody. Comments are fine. Appreciate nice comments. It's not really very exciting as a YouTuber to see a person kind of get nasty with you. It's kind of like what I do to you. It's what you don't have to watch my channel. I mean, I click on many YouTube channels, and once the kind of guy, I just click off and move on. I don't then make a nasty comment to the person. I mean, what does that do? And the people that are on my channel, nobody interacts with these type of people because I have great subscribers. They're not going to play the game. Why? You know what I mean? I mean, so people get that, and I appreciate that. All right, everybody, have a great, safe Columbus and Indignus Day, whatever. Indignus, yeah. Why don't we just say, why don't we have a great Native American Day, right? Why doesn't it just, this is Native American Day. Just say it the way it is. Why do you have to create a new word or just cut to the chase, right? All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and stay safe, and stay tuned for some more Ice Age TV videos. Have a great day.